Alright, hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Anaya Layla and thank you so much for clicking on this video. Alright guys, I know you see in the title down below, I will be doing a story time today on how I dealt with a guy and God literally saved my life because he wasn't the guy for me, and I had soon learned that later on. So you guys will hear the story time today and also hear how God brought me out of a place where I was where, you know, I just had to learn. So let's just jump into it. So I guess we're gonna start from the beginning, obviously. This is just, I don't know, I don't even know where to start. So y'all, so let's just go back. Okay, this was my freshman year of college, right? And you know, when you're a freshman in college, everything is exciting, everything is just new. So you're just like, okay, you're just honestly, outside of you being a kid, this is your chance to like actually live your life on your own. You know, you're actually on your own for the first time and you're young adult, so you're just learning life and just growing to be the person that you want to be. So I guess we can start, you know, because I met this guy in college and, you know, I was a freshman. I would say I met him towards the middle of my freshman year. Yeah, I believe it was the middle of my freshman year. And in the beginning, when I first came to college, when I first went to college my freshman year, you know, I wasn't really talking to anybody. Like, I met different, you know, people, obviously, because in college you're going to meet different people, but I wasn't talking to anybody. So, you know, I had friends at the time, a group of friends. At the time, I was friends, because I know you guys saw that story time. If you haven't, go check it. I posted it, I believe, last year, of the story of me and my roommate. But at the time, I was friends with my roommate. And this was when we were friends, but this was like after. So in the beginning, when I first went to college, I was friends with my roommates. We had a little friend group, right? But that I kind of stopped, you know, hanging out with them, and I met a new group of people, and, you know, I began to develop new friendships. So me and the girl I was with, friends at the time, the girl I was friends with at the time, let me say that right, the girl I was friends with at the time, we were really cool. Like, we were really close. I met her in class and we would always hang out. So, you know, I believe, yeah, we had the same class together, and we ended up meeting this other girl. And so we met this other girl, and, you know, we ended up going out to eat with her, hanging out with her, you know, outside of class. But it didn't go that long, because in college you will come to learn that some people you just don't fully see yourself being, you know, totally close friends with them. So I would say, where did we meet this guy? I think we were walking, or somehow or another, I would see him, I'm gonna be honest, I would see him around the campus, but I knew I saw him in my building. Okay, I knew I saw him in my building. And the building I lived in, it was one of the best, because you have different, let me say dorm halls, that's what you say, dorm halls. And it was different dorm halls where you can choose and pick, but I chose to pick the one where I didn't matter, like, it was boys or, you know, guys or women in there, you know, you can have both, because it is certain dorm halls where you could pick if you just want, you know, just all women, you don't feel comfortable with, you know, men being in the same, you know, dorm hall as you. So I'm glad I did chose that, because actually I was in one of the best buildings, and the room was very nice size. Needless to say, that don't matter. So let's get to the point. You know, I would see him around my dorm hall building, and I'm like, okay, like, you know, okay, I noticed him. So then coincidentally, I believe I hung out with the girl I told you I was close with at the time, and really close friends, and the girl we went to class with. Somehow or another, we saw him. Okay, we saw him in the dorm building, because they would always come back, like, we ended up coming back to my dorm building because it was a nice area and we had a lobby, a ball, all that. So we saw him, and somehow or another, we ended up being in the same elevator as him. So we all was going up to my room, because I think I was on the third floor. I believe I was on the third floor. So he was in the elevator too. And so y'all know, as women, you know, at least for me, I do play a little hard to get, because I just feel like, you know, I don't know, that's just what I do. So, but I wasn't even playing, I wouldn't say play hard to get, I would just say, you know, if you want to pursue me, you pursue me. I'm not about to, you know, the most I would do is just look at you, like, look at you back if you look at me. But, you know, you should know if a girl, you know, likes you back. So we was in the elevator, and they were talking to him. I was kind of, you know, quiet, and I'm not quiet. If anybody knows me, I'm not quiet ever. So yes, I was quiet during that time, just scoping the scenery out. And somehow or another, he ended up turning around to me, talking to me. Short story, we end up exchanging numbers. Obviously, we end up exchanging numbers. He was interested in me, and but at the time I didn't know. He did, you know, ask for my number or social. I think at the time he asked for my social, but I believe we exchanged numbers. So we exchanged, you know, numbers, and cool. So that's where I first met him, okay? That's where I first met him. Now, at the time, like when I first saw him, I believe I didn't know he was in my dorm building, or I think I did see him first time in my dorm building. But I'm like, okay, you know, he's in the same building as me. Okay, so, all right, God, help me, Jesus. So, you know, so after that, I would say, let's skip on to when we actually started to, like, know that we had, you know, obviously interest in each other. Because when I first met him, we first meet someone, obviously you think they're cute and stuff, but you know, that's just, it could be just that. So at college, I don't know if it's like that at all, but I believe it is. We had practice emergency drills where if it was a fire alarm or different things like that. So at the time it was a fire alarm drill, and they would do this like I think once a week, and they would do a loud alarm and we would just have to leave. And honestly, at the time we didn't know if it was an emergency or not. They would just let it off. So yeah, the alarm went off, and I think I was in my room, and I ended up walking out. So when I'm walking out to you know, go outside, this was, mind you, y'all, I don't know if I made this clear, this is another time. So we're past the time I first met him. So I would say like a couple of days later, they had that fire alarm. I go down to go outside, and I end up seeing him. Okay, so we end up he ended up coming up to me. We end up talking, you know, and basically he just let me know like, hey, you know, I'm interested in you, you know, blase, all the, you know, details. Y'all know, y'all can guess the rest. And so I'm like, okay, like, all right, I like Zach. And mind y'all, I'm not gonna say who, because, but let's just say a crush I had when I was younger, like my childhood crush, she looked just like him. So I was just like, y'all know ain't nothing but the devil, ain't nothing but the devil. So y'all, he ended up telling me that he felt the same, like mutual, and he ended up telling me that he, you know, when to start talking to me, stuff like that. And I let him know, you know, the feeling is mutual. You know, I forgot what I said, but obviously I let him know the feeling is mutual, and, you know, that's when we began talking. So after that, I would say after that we began talking more. That's a whole nother story time about the girl who was in the class with her. But let's just say we end up not really being close. And I don't know, like, I just feel like when I started first talking to him, anybody I talk to or trying to talk to on a serious level, I like to get to know you more and more. So I'm not quick to, you know, I feel like you have to earn my trust. And as anybody, I think that's any and everybody. So we began talking more and more. We started talking on the phone, and y'all, we started talking on the phone, and I didn't know that this guy was not the person who I thought he was. He was not the person I thought he was. So I end up, something happened or another. It was I don't know. Okay, so, you know, I'm the type of person, I like to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, and I like to trust them and ask them, you know, first. So mind you, you know, we would be talking and stuff, but I started to notice the more I would talk to him, he was a little bit toxic, a lot of bit toxic, actually. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. He was very toxic. And so, you know, toxic to the point we'd be on the phone, it would be cut conversation, but like, he would say something irritate me, we would start arguing, and it would just be like that all the time. So we would argue a lot and different things like that. But you know, I'm gonna get into that point, what I want to say, but let's get into it. I would never forget, you know, because he lived in the same building as me. Yes, he did. So a lot of times he would spend a lot of his time downstairs at the not downstairs, but in the lobby area, playing pool and, you know, spending his time, you know. And I would see him a lot. So every time I would go, you know, I would see him all the time, because we're in the same building. When I would come from class, I would see him. So, and I was always leaving. I would never be in my dorm. I was going to find somewhere to go, because, you know, I'm not a homebody. Even if I go to the dining hall, I was going to go somewhere, the library, somewhere. So I'll never forget, it was like later on, and later on towards like the nighttime, and I was hanging out with him. He called me, I believe he called me, and I decided to just hang out with him in the lobby area while he played 8 ball. So, you know, I was talking to him, playing 8 ball, and I will never forget, this girl came up. She didn't even come up. Like, it looked like she was walking up, but then she stopped. She stopped in the middle, and I'm trying to, let me set up the scenery for y'all. Y'all, it's a door, like, it's a lobby door, like the door to enter the dorm hall. Okay, it's a door right here. Then it's like the lobby area, and it's a pool table all the way back there. And then over here it's like a couch area, chairs, a TV. Like, it's just, yeah. So we were over here near the pool table. She mind you, we had an elevator over here where we're coming from our, you know, dorms. So she coming walking, and mind you, y'all, this is act like this is the pool table and us, and she's walking, she stops, right? So I'm talking to him, I look over, and I'm just like, okay, she ain't say nothing, y'all, she just stops. So I'm like, okay, like, it's kind of weird. So I look at her, and I'm like, okay. And so I look at him, I asked him, I said, do you know her? And he said, no, I don't know who she is. Like, I said, okay. So then she turns around. So I'm like, okay. And she just goes back to what she's doing. Like, she goes back, I'm guessing, to her dorms. So I'm like, that was really weird. And mind y'all, we would like argue and stuff, but I didn't think like, I don't know, like, I just feel like your intuition, you just know, like, you know, and mind you, it ain't like with dating, but whenever I'm talking to someone on a serious level, I take that with, I don't like to use the word pride, but I really hold that to my heart. And, you know, I'm just a faithful kind of girl. So, I'm not saying, I just feel like I'm really big on loyalty. Now, mind you, I'm gonna get to that point, but so that really bothered me. So I'm like, okay. So mind you guys, at the time I was real close with my cousin, and so I called her. Mind you, she's my older cousin, and you know, I called her for advice. So I'm like, okay, and just so y'all know, so I can finish the conversation, I asked him, I said, do you know her? He was like, no, I don't know who that is. I said, are you sure? Because she just came up here and stopped. That was really weird. And he was like, I don't know who that is. Basically saying he don't know who this is. So I'm thinking like, okay, but y'all know still my mind is not at ease. So let's call it up. Okay, hello. You know, I called my cousin. Yes, I did. And I just basically told her what happened. I'm like, basically, what do you think that is? Like, what? Because I'm confused. I don't want to think something and, you know, not trusting in someone. So what do you think that is? And so she basically broke it down to me, basically said that what she think it is, maybe he talked to her or have talked to her, and, you know, I forgot totally what she said, but she broke it out and it made a lot of sense. I believe she said basically they talked, and, you know, I don't know if he acted like he don't know her or what. So I'm like, okay. But I just feel like that rubbed me the wrong way, that situation too, because, you know, I just feel like talking to anybody, even if you're trying to talk to them on a serious level or anybody, trust is a very big thing. And so I had to learn that, you know, okay, all right, so let's just rethink our whole situation. Now mind you, after that, y'all, like, I just feel like it went downhill. Like, I don't know, like, I still don't know to this day, and I put two and together. I just feel like honestly he probably just doing what he was doing, like, I don't know. But I just feel like loyalty is very important. Even if you're talking, like, you need to have that conversation even if you're talking to someone. But I definitely I don't know what happened with her, but I do think that he was probably, you know, talking to her. I don't know, but I do know he was very toxic, and he was so toxic, and it would be like on and off, y'all. It would be so toxic, it would be on and off, but then I'll keep going back to talk to him, because I'm gonna be so truthful with y'all. And I'm telling y'all this story to help y'all, anybody out here, man or woman, okay? I'm telling this to help y'all. Don't just look at looks, because when I was, you know, younger, I'm 20 years old now. At the time when I first went to college, I was 17. It's not all about looks, okay? It's not all about looks. And I came to the realization that, you know, looks is not everything. You know, looks, yes, you want someone that you're attracted to, of course, but I'll be like, oh yeah, they're fine. You can't do that. You can't be like, oh yeah, they're fine. Yeah, I'm gonna just go. No. So you have to really think on your decision. Now, mind you, we, at some point, I never forget, I think it was winter break. Yeah, it was winter break, y'all, Thanksgiving break, because when I got back, I had a different hairstyle, and when I got back, it was around my birthday. We went away for Thanksgiving break, and, you know, I was still talking to him, but I was just tired. Like, it was to the point he was draining me. He was draining me of everything. I've never before dealt with a toxic man before, so that was just very draining. I don't want any toxicity. I love peace over here, okay? I love peace, okay? I know y'all love peace too. We love peace, okay? So you know, I went on the break, and anybody who knows me, even y'all, I love God, and I stayed in church. You know, I stayed in church. So I went to church, my church home at the time, and you know, we had a guest prophet. It was just a coincidence. We had a guest prophet come, and I'll just never forget. You know, I had got a word. But I believe that was after. I'm getting it mixed up, the time frame. I'm trying to put two and two together. But I did get a word on, you know, what that was. But I'll never forget, I showed my mom, she has discernment, okay? And at the time, I didn't have discernment. I have discernment now, but I didn't have discernment really that much then, okay? And so I remember I showed my mom a picture, and she like, nope, nope, and then before that, she called me, and she heard him. I think I was with him at the time, and I answered the phone for my mom, and she heard him, and she said, nah, something ain't right about him. And so anybody know, if your mom is telling you that, most of the time they're right, okay? At least for me, most of the time she was right. So you know, I'll never forget, my mom would tell me, and I didn't even tell my mom what I was going through with him. I didn't tell her how toxic he was, how, you know, he stressed me out, and how it would just be an argument over any little thing. Like, it was just childish, honestly. It was childish. At the time, I don't know how he is now, but at the time, he was not a great person, so, to me. And so, you know, I talked to my mom and stuff, and she was like, no, you gonna let a guy mess up your future? You gonna, no, she sat there and talked to me, and she said, you deserve better than this. God does not want that for you. And are you just gonna let that happen? And I'm like, right. And so it didn't change until my mom gave me that last talk, and she said, it's either him or your future. And I said, that's all you needed to tell me. That's all you needed to tell me. You don't have to tell me no more. And so I made up in my mind. It took months. I believe I talked to this man for probably like 6 months. 6 months. 4 to 6. No, it was longer than 4. 5 to 6 months. I was talking to him for a little minute, and I stopped talking to him. I cut it off totally because my mom had a serious talk with me, and I made up in my mind, hey, I deserve better than this. I'm not about to deal with anybody toxic, okay? And so I broke it off with him, and the devil tried to use him to come back. Yes. After we came back from break, I was walking into the building, and he saw me, and we crossed paths, and he tried to stop me and talk to me, and I said, no, like, you know, I'm good. Then he tried multiple times. Even when I went into my dorm room, he called me. He said, hey, like, you know, basically trying to talk back so we could get back talking. I said, no, like, I'm good. Like, I was so done, y'all. Like, at a certain point, you get tired of Todd. And we weren't even in a relationship. But it was the fact that the devil was fighting me in college and trying to fight for what I was going for while using this man. He was literally using this man. And so I said, no. After that, even after I hung up on the phone, I ended up leaving. Like I said, y'all, I was going to find somewhere to go. And I went to the dining hall, saw him there. He tried to talk to me. I said no. And I was so adamant about, no, I'm done. I'm done. I have a lot to things to accomplish. I have too much going for myself to be dealing with you and your mess. And so I was really talking to the devil. Devil, you're not gonna bound me. You're not gonna bound me by no man. And so that's why I'm telling you guys this, man or woman. If you're dealing with somebody who's not bringing you peace, who's not showing you the love of Christ, you don't need to be with them. Even if they are, if that's not who God has set for you, you don't need to be with them anyways. And so I had to learn that. And it didn't take me till after I got out that situation. I found some more stuff out. You know, I was just so happy that I had got out that situation because it was nothing but God. Y'all, it was, oh, thank you, Jesus. It was nothing but God, y'all. Y'all don't even understand. And I had found out, God had let me know through church, when I was at church, a word that I got, that he had a hidden agenda. Mind you, I was genuine. You know what I'm saying? I was, I guess I need to, being young, I want you guys to know, if you're young out here, even, you know, and you have a set agenda, and you know, you have already in your mindset, hey, I'm waiting to marriage. Like, I have a set mindset. I'm waiting till marriage for the man that God has for me. Like, I want who God has for me. Then you got to know the devil is going to fight you. And so you got to stay prayed up. You got to get strength from God, because I didn't have strength. God brought me out of that situation. If God wouldn't have ever brought me out, I don't know what would happen. You get what I'm saying? Like, I probably would have gave in to his antics. And so I just say, God, that the devil didn't win in that situation. Because if the devil would have won, I would have been even more hurt. And so I feel like now I'm just so glad that God got me out of that situation. I was hurt at first, and I'm like, God, why? But God ended up bringing me out that situation, and I'm forever grateful to our Father. And so I just wanted to share this story time with you guys, because I know I'm not the only one who deal with. A lot of people actually deal with this in college. Not even in college, when you're young and you're just dealing with these different people. You have to let people grow, and you have to know, hey, this is not my burden to take down. This is the devil trying to fight me. And also, this person is not mature enough to have the mindset where I'm at right now. They still want to play games. They still want to be out here. You don't have to deal with that. It's a man out here who will. Who will do what you want, and who will treat you the way you want to be treated. All in God's timing. And so I had to learn that. But ultimately, I wanted to share this story time with you guys, because I know this can help many, many people with things they're dealing with, and especially since a lot of people are at college now. And I just wanted to let you know that even if you're not in college, it doesn't matter where you're at. If you're dealing with the same thing that I dealt with before, then you want to get out and choose yourself. Choose God. Don't let the devil win, because that's ultimately what's happening. You're letting the devil win if you continue to talk to this man, and if you continue to talk to this woman. And so I just wanted to share this with you guys, that if I can get out, you can get out as well. And that just be obedient to God's voice. Do not, a couple of times I didn't listen to God's voice, and I'm glad that I finally listened. And I want you guys to listen as well. Do not take advantage of God's voice and what he's telling you. Be obedient, get away from that person, and choose God and yourself, and know that greater is to come. You don't have to deal with any mess or toxicness. Okay, so y'all clock that T. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I will be doing more story times, more vlogs. I have so much in store for you guys. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Bye.